Good evening, this is GCN English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Nihue Kim Kong Sai. First, the headlines. Kuki Women Organizations for Human Rights issue strong rebuttal to NCW's later on Ziribam violence. Ziribam killings in Manipur a matter of law and order, falls under state government, says Center. News in detail. The Kuki Women Organizations for Human Rights, KWOHR, has issued a scathing response to National Commissions for Women's NCW recent letter, dated December 20, 2024, addressing the ongoing violence in Ziribam, Manipur. The KWOHR statement condemns any form of violence but accuses the NCW of hypocrisies, highlighting its failure to act on the long-standing atrocities faced by Kuki women since the outbreak of ethnic violence in May 2023. In its letter, the NCW expressed concern over the recent violence in Ziribam, calling for prompt actions from the government of Manipur. However, KWOHR points out the Commission's glaring silence regarding the widespread and brutal violence against Kuki tribal women over the last 18 months. The group criticizes the NCW for its inactions despite multiple representations, including a detailed letter from KWOHR in August 2024, which documented the abuse faced by Kuki women at the hands of Meitei militant groups such as Arambai Tingle and Meitei Lipun, allegedly backed by the state government. The KWOHR statement details a series of atrocities committed against Kuki women, which it claims include rape, sexual violence, murder, torture, and forced displacement. Notably, the organization refers to the widely condemned incident of two Kuki women being paraded naked in Pune, which gained international attention. Despite the global outrage, the KWOHR accuses the NCW of failing to hold the perpetrators accountable or demand justice for the victims. The KWOHR also criticizes the NCW's recent selective outrage, pointing out the disparity in its response to the violence against Kuki and Meitei communities. While the NCW expresses swift concern for Meitei victims in Ziribam, the KWOHR argues that the Commission has overlooked the systematic and more widespread violence against Kuki women, which the organization believes constitutes ethnic cleansing. In its rebuttal, the KWOHR demands immediate actions from the NCW and the Indian government to address the ongoing atrocities against Kuki women. Specifically, the group calls for an independent investigation into the crimes, the dismantling of state-backed militant groups, and international intervention to hold the Indian government accountable for the systematic violence against Kuki tribals. The statement concludes with a call to the international community, urging organizations like the United Nations, Amnesty International, and Human Rights Watch to intervene in what the KWOHR described as a systematic genocide against Kuki women, which it argues amounts to crimes against humanity. The Kuki Women Organizations for Human Rights demands determined to continue its fight for justice and equality, vowing to challenge any form of injustice or marginalizations faced by Kuki women. Responding to a public interest litigations, PIL petitions filed in the Manipur High Court for a speedy and transparent investigations into the abductions and killing of 6 women and children of the Meitei community in Manipur's Ziribam last month, the Ministry of Home Affairs (MHA) has now said that these are matters of maintenance of law and order, which fall under the state government. This comes despite the National Investigations Agency taking over the case of abductions and killings on the orders of the MHA, according to the press statement issued by the Federal Investigative Agency. The MHA took these positions in an affidavit filed before the Manipur High Court earlier this month in response to the PIL office bearers of the civil society organizations Uripok Loop, a conglomerate of dozens of local clubs in the Uripok area. In the PIL filed on November 28, the petitioners called for detailed records of the case and prayed for directions to arrest those involved in these crimes and a speedy and time-bound probe into the case. The petitioners also suggested an independent investigative committee or commission to be set up to probe the case, further praying for directions to pay compensation to the family members of those killed in this attack because of the failure on the part of the law enforcement machinery of the state as well as government of India. In his counter affidavit in the case, the MA said true and Undersecretary said the kin of the deceased in the case were being given rupees 10 lakh as ex gratia, half of which was to be borne by the government of Manipur. Further, it said assistance is being provided for the injured. As for the other prayers, the MA's affidavit said that as regards the prayers made in these petitions, it is humbly stated that the same primarily pertain to the issue of maintenance of law and order, which falls under the domain of the state government, the officers of which have been made separate respondents in this petition. It continued, in view of the positions submitted above, no action is being pending or warranted at the end of this answering respondent. According to a press statement issued by the NIA on November 26, the case of the 6 women and children was among 3 cases the agency had registered over the November violence in Jiribam district. The other 2 cases pertain to the alleged rape and burning alive of a Kuki woman, Zosankyam 31 in Jiribam on November 7th, and the alleged attack on a CRPF post in Jiribam's Borobakra on November 11th, in which 10 armed militants were gunned down. It was during this attack that the 6 women and children from the Metis community were abducted. Soon, a photograph of all 6 in and unknown locations has flooded social media, and within days, all their bodies were discovered in the Barak River. In the PIL, the petitioners have made the Directors Generals of CRPF and the NIA as respondents in addition to the Union government, to the MSA, and representatives of the state government in Manipur. A bench comprising Chief Justice D. Krishna Kumar and Justice Gomel Gai Pulshilu Kabui is hearing the PIL and has already issued notices to all respondents in the case. The case is expected to be taken up again on February 3, 2025. The NIA is yet to make any arrest in the case related to the killings of the 6 women and children. A team from the agency have visited the spot over November 21 to 22 to begin their probe, with the NIA aiding that they were in the process of taking over the case documents from the local police. Security forces during search operations recovered 11 live ammunition of SLR, 1 magazine of SLR, 66 empty cartridges of SLR, and 1 battery and antenna of radio shed from Payangporam Hill, and 1 misfire RDS of AK, 102 empty cartridges of AK, 2 empty cartridges of SLR, 1 2-bore cartridge, and 1 local-made bomb from K Songlun area during operations in Payang, Songlun, and Chiru areas under Imphal West and Kangpokpi district, police said. In another unrelated operations, police arrested 1 active gadget of the proscribed outfit, PRE-PAK, pre-packed from Kakching district. He is identified as Kumbong Mayum Abhijit Singh, 26, and was arrested on Sunday from Kakching Jumnang area in Kakching district. The Indian Army organized a heartwarming Christmas fair at the relief camp for internally displaced people at Sangay University in Zikhi Tampak village, Charichampur district, Kuki land. The event brought joy, hope, and a sense of togetherness to over 570 people affected by the ongoing unrest in the state. The festive fair featured an array of games, cultural performances, and entertainment, which show enthusiastic participations from attendees, a statement released by the PRO and Defense Ministry of Defense, Kohima said. The vibrant celebrations created a sense of community and uplifted spirits during the holiday season. Additionally, essential relief items were distributed to displaced families, offering much-needed support alongside Christmas cheer. The Indian Army reaffirmed its commitment to standing by the people of Kuki land, fostering social cohesion and resilience in challenging times. Manipur government's consultative committee member, Lieutenant General Konsam Himalaya Singh, retired, asserted that political dialogue will play a key role in resolving challenges in the strife-torn state. Speaking at a symposium in Kolkata, Singh asserted that the way forward is political dialogue and also accommodations by way of give and take. It is about political accommodations and political way to resolve things because I believe that the military way of solving issues has not worked. Singh, who commanded the battalion which reclaimed .5770 in the daring operations in the Kargil War in 1999, said Singh, a member of the Peace Committee to establish peace and harmony among ethnic groups in Manipur, said that the large number of tribes in the northeast with their different aspirations is a huge challenge. That is a tall order. To see it through in the next 1 or 2 or 5 years, it is a very long process. Singh, who commanded the 27th Battalion of the Rajput Regiment from 1998 to 2008, said, "If we don't have the right to approach to solve things, then we will not see success in the Northeast India," he said. "We have more than 187 tribes in the Northeast and 242 languages and dialects, each having their own aspirations," he said. Maintaining how to deal with that is a huge challenge to the Indian Constitution. He said that the country's constitution caters to everybody's needs, but not everybody's greed. The security issues of Northeast India have a little different connotations when it comes to national security, he said. Singh said that there is a huge challenge which needs to be addressed early and more aggressively. The northeastern states are bordered by China, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Bhutan. Manipur Congress leader Okrami Bobby Singh on December 21 accused the Manipur government of violating provisions of the constitution by not holding the winter sessions of the state assembly. Speaking to reporters, the Congress legislature's party leader said, "The state government is violating the provisions and articles of the constitution. As per the rules, 3 assembly sessions, budget, autumn, and winter, must be held at least once a calendar year. However, for Manipur, the winter session is yet to be summoned and held, and the calendar year is almost over now. Memorandums have been submitted to the governor, the speaker, and the chief minister in this regard yesterday," Singh said. "We are compelled to raise this issue because of the failure of democratic institutions to function normally. As an opposition party, we will not remain mute spectators if the government does not discharge its duties timely and responsibly," the former chief minister added. The Congress also referenced conventions set by the Lok Sabha, which traditionally holds 3 sessions annually: the budget sessions, autumn sessions, and winter session, with approximate timelines to ensure effective legislative functioning. The MPCC has urged the governor to prioritize the sanctity of democratic governance by summoning the winter sessions before the year's end. This move, they assert, is vital for upholding the constitutions and protecting the rights and interests of the people of Manipur. The 72 Northeastern Council NEC plenary sessions held in Agartala on Saturday has drawn disappointment from the Tripura-based journalists, media after they were excluded from covering the event. This session, which was graced by the presence of Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Union Minister of State for Civil Aviations, and the chief ministers and governors of all northeastern states, saw several journalists from outside the state being invited. However, local media representatives were not allowed to report on the stations, which raised concerns among the Tripura journalist fraternity. Secretary of the Agartala Press Club, Ramakant expressed the disappointment felt by local journalists, stating, "It is disheartening that local media professionals who have a long history of covering important events in the state were not given the chance to report on the NEC stations in their own state. We believe this decision does not reflect the contributions of local journalists." The Agartala Press Club emphasized that the exclusion was particularly disappointing given the role local journalists play in keeping the public informed about key developments. Similarly, the president of Tripura Electronic Media Society, TEMS, Sorazi Paul, also voiced concern, saying, "Local journalists have always worked hard to ensure comprehensive coverage of significant events in Tripura. Not allowing them to report on the NEC stations is unfortunate, and we hope such decision will not be reconsidered for future events." In a concerted effort to maintain peace and security, search operations and area domination exercises were conducted by security forces across the fringe and vulnerable regions of Manipur's hill and valley districts. These operations led to significant recoveries of ammunition and explosive materials from different areas. During searches in the Paying Porom Hill, security personnel confiscated 11 live SLR rounds, 1 SLR magazine, 66 empty SLR cartridges, along with a battery and antenna of a radio set. Meanwhile, in the Kesonglun area, authorities recovered 1 misfired AK round, 102 empty AK cartridges, 2 empty SLR cartridges, and 1 12-bore cartridge and a locally made bomb. The operation spanned across the Payang, Songlong, and Chiru regions within the Imphal West and Kangpukpi districts. Additionally, ensuring the free movement of essential supplies, security forces facilitated the passage of 371 vehicles carrying essential goods along National Highway 2. Strict security measures, including armed convoys and patrols, were implemented in sensitive stretches to safeguard transit routes. To bolster law and order, a total of 106 checkpoints were established across various districts of the state, covering both hill and valley region. Despite the extensive security measures, no detentions were reported during this period for any violations, signaling an effective and controlled environment in the state. Three people, including 2 children, were killed and 6 others injured after a drunk driver ran over a family of migrant walkers sleeping on the footpath in Wakholi in Pune in the early hours of Monday. The Pune City Police identified the deceased as Vishal Vinod Power, 22, Vaibhav Ritesh Power, 2, and his sister Vaibhavi Ritesh Power, 1. All from Amravati. They say those who were injured include Zanaki Dises Power, 21, Rinisha Vinod Power, 18, Rosam Bosel, 9, Nagis Nifruti Power, 27, Darshan Sangzai Viral, 18, and Elisa Vinod Power, 47. Senior Police Inspector Pandit Rizet Watt, the investigations officer of this case, said that the accident happened when the victims were fast asleep. A laborer, Virendra Paramdasi Bhoshel, a native of Karanji Gach in the state's Warda district, lost the first information report FIR at the Wakholi police station. The police have arrested the dumper driver Gazanan Sankar Totre, 26, resident of Kesnant and native of Nandid, under sections 105, 281, 125A and 125B of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, BNS, on charges of culpable homicide not amounting to murder, and sections 184 and 185 of the Motor Vehicle Act. The driver was arrested after his medical test confirmed he had consumed alcohol and was driving under the influence. The police said the accused was driving the truck at a high speed after consuming liquor. He lost control of the vehicle and the truck crossed the road divider and ran over the people sleeping on the open grazing lane alongside the footpath at the Kasnat Pata Chowk in Wakholi at around 1 a.m. After receiving information, senior police officers rushed to the spot and the victims were taken to a hospital. 2 of them were pronounced dead, after which their bodies were shifted to Station Hospital for post-mortem examinations. The police said the injured 2 were admitted to Sasun Hospital after being provided preliminary treatment at a private hospital. According to the police, the victims migrated to Pune from rural parts of Amravati and Wardha districts to work in Pune. They are mostly daily wage laborers working at construction sites and other small jobs to earn a living. A family member of the victims told reporters about 40 people were living on the roadside in the Wakholi. Three terrorists accused of lobbing a grenade at a police post in Punjab's Gurdaspur have been gunned down in an encounter with police in Uttar Pradesh, Pilibhit, sources have said. The gunfight between the 3 criminals and a joint team of Uttar Pradesh and Punjab police took place last night. The cops tried to erase them, but the criminals opened fire. The injured criminals, Gurwinder Singh, Virendra Singh, and Jasanpreet Singh, died of the injury, sources have said. 2 rifles of the AK series and as many Glock pistols have been recovered from them. Punjab police has said that the 3 are part of Pakistan's sponsored model of Khalistan Zindabad force. This terror model is involved in grenade attacks at police establishments in border areas of the Punjab. The encounter has taken place in the jurisdictions of PS Burhanpur, Pilibhit between the joint police teams of Pilibhit and Punjab, and 3 model members are involved in a grenade attack on a police post in Gurdaspur. Punjab DGP Gaurav Yadav said in a post on X. Investigations are in progress to unveil the entire terror model, he added. Uttar Pradesh DGP Prasan Kumar told NDTV described it as a daredevil job and a good example of coordinations between Uttar Pradesh and Punjab police. 3 police stations in Punjab were targeted within a week, and security agencies suspect the role of Khalistani terrorists, while Bangar police post in Gurdaspur was targeted. On Friday, a blast occurred at Islamabad police stations in Amritsar on Tuesday. A blast had also taken place outside Bakshiwal police post, also in Gurdaspur. No one was injured in these explosions. An unverified post circulating on social media said terror outfit Khalistan Zindabad force had claimed responsibility for the blast. According to sources, the terrorists had come to Pilibhit, about 750 kilometers from Gurdaspur, to find a hideout in the area that has a significant Sikh population. But Uttar Pradesh police have said they got complete support of the locals. A tragic weekend unfolded in Brazil with 2 major accidents. On Saturday, a bus crash in Minas Gerais killed 38 people and injured 30. The bus coming from São Paulo lost control after a tire burst and caught fire. President Lula da Silva offered condolences and promised support to the victims' families. On Sunday, a small plane crashed into shops in Gramado, a tourist city in southern Brazil. All 10 people on board died. The crash caused a large fire, sending 15 people to the hospital for smoke inhalations. The plane hit a chimney, a building, and a furniture store before debris scattered. Authorities are investigating both incidents as the nation mourns these tragedies. The bus accident and plane crash have left many families grieving. The government is committed to finding out what happened to prevent future incidents. In the bus accident, the vehicle was traveling from São Paulo where it lost control. A burst tire led to the crash with a truck, causing the bus to catch fire. Emergency services responded quickly to help the injured and managed the scene. The plane crash in Gramador involved a small aircraft carrying 10 passengers. It struck several structures before coming to rest. The resulting fire was intense, requiring significant firefighting efforts. Local hospitals treated those affected by smoke inhalations. President Lula da Silva expressed deep sorrow over these events. He assured that the government would provide full support to those affected. The investigations aims to uncover the cause of these accidents and ensure safety measures are in place. Both incidents have drawn attention to transportation safety in Brazil. Officials are focused on improving safety standards for buses and planes. The goal is to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. Russian President Vladimir Putin vowed revenge over Kyiv's attack a day earlier on high-rise buildings in Kazan, the capital of Russia's oldest Republic of Tatarstan, as Russia launched a massive drone attack at Ukraine on December 22. More than the 100 drones that Russia launched in the December 22 attack were shot down, according to Ukraine's military. Businesses and apartments buildings were damaged in the Russian attacks, though at this point the military said without casualties. The regions of Kherson, Mykolaiv, Chernihiv, Sumy, Poltava, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, Zhytomyr, and Kyiv all saw drones fired in their directions, with 52 of the total 103 shot down, the Ukrainian Air Force reported. Russia has stepped up its air attacks on Ukraine in recent weeks, with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky saying on December 21 that Moscow has launched more than 550 guided bombs, almost 550 drones, and 20 missiles over the past weeks. Russia has systematically targeted Ukraine's civilian and energy infrastructure since the start of the war, stepping up attacks, especially at the onset of the cold seasons, causing maximum difficulties and lengthy power cuts for Ukrainians for the third winter in a row. It has also been accused of Kyiv of targeting residential buildings, which Moscow denies. Russia's massive attack comes a day after Ukraine struck high-rise buildings in Kazan, the capital of Russia's oldest Republic of Tatarstan. Putin vowed to bring more destructions to Ukraine in retaliation for the drone attack on Kazan. Whoever tries to destroy something here will face many times more destructions on their own territory and will regret what they are trying to do in our country, Putin said during a televised meeting. On December 22, Ukraine appeared to again strike inside Russian territory. Andriy, the head of Oryol region, near the border with Ukraine, said a fire broke out at a field infrastructure facility in the village of Stelnoykon after the area came under a drone attack, the second in a week. That's all from us, and we thank you for joining our program.